Hey guys, so for day 15 of Halloween nail designs, I am doing some pretty simple jack-o'-lantern nails. So to start off, I'm just taking candy corn from Ball Pit and painting all of the nails with this. I did end up doing 2 coats of this, and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. And this is a reflective glitter orange color. And I've used reflective glitters a lot in the past, especially like in my earlier days of YouTube. And I absolutely love reflective glitter polishes. I know they were really popular like towards the beginning of my channel. And I feel like they don't get used as much anymore. Like, I will still see people using them, but Cat Eye kind of has taken over the scene now. But I still really love reflective glitter polishes. Like, they are so fun. And just like reflective glitter in general, because you can get like loose glitters that are reflective. They're just super fun. I know like they look like basic glitters. They're just super sparkly when you see them like right here or just in kind of like everyday life. But if you look at them at the right angle, they look a little extra sparkly. And then when you film them and you put flash on them, they really like pop through and shine a lot. And I just think they're really fun. But anyhow, reflective glitter polishes, because there's so much glitter in them, can tend to get pretty thick, and they can also sometimes feel pretty grainy when you're painting. It almost kind of feels like if you're painting on top of sandpaper. But this Ball Pit one, I have 2 of them. There's an orange one and a purple one, and they came in her Halloween collection last year. Yeah, last year. And I really like them. They're really nice. They're not super thick. They are a little bit thicker than her normal polishes, but like I said, that tends to happen when you put in so much glitter into a polish. It does thicken it up quite a bit, but it really doesn't. Hers aren't like super super thick like this other brand that I used. I don't know how to pronounce it. It starts with an M, and I get it off of Amazon. I really like that one too. But hers, like I said, they're not super thick. It also doesn't feel like sandpaper whenever you're painting with them. They go on super smooth, which is so interesting to me. And even once they're on, right here I am applying a base coat just to kind of smooth out the nail. But realistically, I didn't have to do this because they were already smooth. It was a little grainy, you could feel in some spots, but for the most part, the nail was super smooth. I could have easily just painted over top of it, and it would have been fine. Whereas that other brand of reflective glitter polish that I was talking about, the one that starts with the M from Amazon, that one definitely has a texture to it, and I do usually have to double top. I just accidentally hit stop recording it right in the middle of what I was saying, but anyhow, what I was saying was that I usually have to double top coat that other brand in order to get any of that texture off of the nail. Whereas with the Ball Pit ones, I don't have to do that. Like, I can just top coat. I can just do 1 layer of top coat, and it's good. It's nice and smooth and even, and there's no more of that texture. After I got that applied. I did wipe them off with alcohol to remove that sticky layer, just like I always do. And like I always say, whenever doing nail art, you do want to remove the sticky layer off of your base color, or in my case, the base coat, um, because it does tend to act a little bit similarly to a blooming gel. It just doesn't spread as much as a blooming gel. Um, Now I'm going in with the black from Ball Pit and just doing my little jack-o'-lantern faces. And I just went on Google and searched up jack-o'-lantern faces and found a picture that had like a bunch of different jack-o'-lantern faces on it, and just made my own little jack-o'-lanterns on these nails. I kind of picked like the eyes that I liked, and then chose a mouth that I liked for them. uh, so you can just kind of do whatever you want with it. Do whatever faces you want. You could even do any kind of base you want. Like if you want to do a regular cream color, like a regular cream base, or a jelly base, maybe even a cat eye base, you could do all of that. You have a lot of options there to customize it and make it your own. I just thought it'd be really cool to do these as like reflective glitters. Also, I don't really use this. I don't really use reflective glitters at all, really, anymore. I used to use them a lot in the beginning of my channel, and now I kind of don't. I just don't really find what I'm doing needs reflective glitter, or like I don't. What I do, I don't know, I just can't find a place for it in what I do sometimes, most of the times. Which I kind of want to start using it a lot again, because I do really like reflective glitters. Um, Also, I actually really hate doing jack-o'-lantern faces, and I say this every year because I always end up doing jack-o'-lantern faces. Um, Even before doing YouTube, I always ended up doing jack-o'-lantern faces for Halloween, or at least one jack-o'-lantern face for Halloween. And I hate it every single time because they take a long time. It's not, the eyes and the nose don't usually take a lot of time, especially if you're just doing like basic triangle eyes. It's always the mouths. The mouths always take a lot of time, and they're always more detailed and intricate compared to like the eyes and the nose. Those are usually a little more basic, and I don't know, it's just a pain in the butt to do jack-o'-lantern faces. And every year I say I hate them and I'm never going to do them again, and every year I end up doing them. So I don't know. I think, jack-o'-lanterns are such a classic like Halloween decoration or design to do, that I just do them. And there's so many different ways to do them. Like, you can do the faces all kinds of different ways and it still looks like a jack-o'-lantern. I really like the ones that I did a couple years ago where I made them glow in the dark to make it look like they were lit up. Anyhow, I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let this play out, and I will be back whenever I need to be back. This kind of mouth where it's like all the teeth, even just any kind of jack o' lantern mouth that has the teeth, even like the classic one where it's like, the square teeth and there's only like two on the bottom and one on the top or something like that, or two on the bottom, two on the top, whatever. Um, this is the part that the reason why I always say I hate jack o' lanterns and painting them, because it always takes so long, and like trying to get them to line up right and make sure they're like, it would make sense if they were to close. Although, even if you, I mean, jack o' lanterns aren't closing their mouths or anything. And even if you were to like carve your own jack o' lantern, they do, they're not always perfect, and you end up messing up, or like they're not evenly spaced or whatever. So I don't know why I stress so much about it, but yeah, it's just like this kind of mouth. And I always torture myself and do the most complicated mouths for jack o' lanterns, and I need to stop. This one reminds me of a purge mask. And I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, it goes with the set, but also I don't really like it that much. And it also kind of freaks me out a little bit because those purge masks in those movies, like, I think it's the first one where it's like the human face and it's like super shiny and like cartoony, but like real looking almost. Those ones, I do not like those masks, and that is exactly what this was reminding me of. Freaks me out, but also it's kind of funny. Now I'm just going in with my shiny top coat from LGN and top coating the nails. After I get this applied, I do go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And obviously I'm going in with shiny because I am using a glitter polish. But if you were to be using a cream polish or a jelly polish, even a cat eye polish, they would look really good being matte. Honestly, low-key, I kind of like pumpkin nails to be matte. Like, I just think it looks better matte, in my opinion. But like I said, because I used this glitter background, I did do shiny. Although now I am curious to know what this would, like, a reflective glitter would look like being matte. And if it would still have the reflective effect when you put the flash on it if it was matte. That's a test I'm gonna have to test out. And here is the finished result. They are really cute, and I do really like them. Like I said, though, that pointer nail freaks me out a little bit because it is reminding me of a purge mask. And one of my sisters said it reminds her of Michael Jackson for some reason. But anyhow, they're super cute. Overall, they are super cute. Here they are under the flash, so you can see all those cute little sparkles. They're fun. And a simple, quick and easy design you could do for Halloween. Like, I feel like if you were last minute getting Halloween nails, this would be a good one because it honestly doesn't take too much time. I should have used the black liner gel for the faces because you can kind of see where, like, see the orange through a little bit on the black. I think that's because I had it spread out a little thin on that part, which is really easy to do whenever you're doing nail art like that. But if I would have used the liner gel, I wouldn't have had that issue. Or I could have done a second coat of the black. But realistically, you can't really tell because there's not going to be a flashlight shining on it like that. Even in this lighting, you can't really see through like that. I don't know, it's just like on that last clip. Anyhow, yeah, they're super cute, super fun. I love the sparkliness of them and all the different little faces. So they have their own little personalities. But anyhow, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.